Southern Kaduna has been in the news for both the bad and good reasons. Bad reason because of the recurrent tale of violence in the area, and good reason because more than ever before a coalition of spirited efforts to usher in lasting peace appears to be promising, like the proverbial light at the end of the tunnel. This is the focus of Panorama from NTA Kaduna Network Center, and my name is Abdullah Mohammed. Stay with us. The federal government is working out modalities to assist rural farmers with affordable vehicles through cooperative groups to cushion the effect of COVID-19 pandemic and other variables on food security. The Ministry of Special Duty and Intergovernmental Affairs is leading the new initiative and held interministerial meeting to that effect. Mitari Ikben reports.
Access to markets, especially cost of transportation, is said to be taking a toll on the price of foodstuff and the income of farmers. Now, the federal government, through the Ministry of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, is introducing a program that will mitigate difficulties encountered by rural farmers and other SME groups as part of the efforts to lift millions of Nigerians out of poverty. In collaboration with the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development and the private sector, thousands of buses under a hire purchase arrangement are to be rolled out.
The whole essence here is to ensure that our rural folks have access to decent transportation facility. And now that there is a slight adjustment of the price of oil, PMS, we do recognize some Shylock businessmen who decide to take advantage. So once this is realized, we believe it will do quite a lot to stabilize the price system for the benefit of our people.
The project is to be launched by President Buhari as soon as modalities have been put in place. In Abuja, Mitaire Ikben, NTA News.
The co-chairman of Bill Gates Foundation, Aliko Dangote, and other development partners have commended Nigeria's proactive response towards flattening the curve of coronavirus pandemic and sustaining the laudable gains of polio eradication. The development partners met their remarks during the 2020 primary health care review meeting between the officials of Kaduna State Government and development partners that was held virtually at the Government House, Kaduna. Let's join Muhammad Umar Ajingi for details of that report.
This time around, the annual review meeting to take stock of achievements and challenges faced in the year on the quality of healthcare services rendered to especially pregnant women and children was attended by almost all the relevant stakeholders from within and outside Nigeria. Some of the major partners such as Bill Gates, head of Global Fund Maria Ikroa, participated virtually from their respective countries, while the Minister of Health, Dr. Osage Ehaneri, Emir of Zazzau, Chairman of Nigeria Governors Forum Kaide Fahimi, and Aliko Dangote also joined from their respective locations within Nigeria.
Our new realities teach us to consider other sustainable options to drive coordinated, not just for the period of the pandemic, but beyond.
Despite the impact of COVID-19 in all over Nigeria, I am encouraged by the efforts of Kaduna State.
The participants lauded the quick response and adequate measures taken to protect citizens from coronavirus, as well as effort made in eradicating polio out of the health space of the country.
Your Excellency, Your Royal Highness, Honorable Commission, Kaduna's entire health team and its many partners, congratulations.
Governor Rufai enumerated the gains made generally in improving on healthcare services in the areas of providing more infrastructure, equipment, and manpower.
The COVID-19 pandemic has exposed the fragility of our public health system. We are using the opportunity of this pandemic and the extra resources we are getting as support from donors to strengthen our healthcare system as a whole and prepare for the next pandemic by the grace of God.
The stakeholders' engagement ended with new resolve and commitment from the development partners to bringing more support to Nigeria. In Kaduna, I am Muhammad Umar Jingi, NTA News.
Poverty eradication matters now 2 million households across Nigeria to benefit from 5,000 naira monthly stipends under the conditional cash transfer program of the federal government before the end of the year 2020. Majama Adamu reports.
These are additional 173 cash transfer facilitators selected from the benefiting 9 local government areas of Kaduna State. They will facilitate additional 38,071 beneficiaries in the state.
Cash transfer facilitators are the key implementing actors as far as the program is concerned. They engage directly with our beneficiaries at the community level, and by the design of the program, for each activity or each task the CTF has to accomplish at the community level, there is need to build their capacity to ensure that they are well equipped to implement the program at the community level.
Gloria Yamda and Ashuru Yakubu pledged to impart the knowledge they acquired on the targeted beneficiaries for maximum effect.
The cash transfer, are they going to use it, how they will make use of it in order to help them to come out from the poverty.
What we get here is a knowledge that you can go and help the vulnerable and the poor people in the grassroots level.
Before the end of 2020, the exercise is expected to improve the living standard of 2 million beneficiary households that equal to an average 8,800,000 individuals across the country. In Kaduna, Majama Adamu, NTA News.
I'm moving to Lagos now, where a flood from Saturday's downpour has swept away 2 yet-to-be-identified children at Oyebanjo Street, Ketu area. Lagos State Emergency Management Agency confirmed the incident and said that a joint team has commenced a search and rescue operation along the path of the flowed water. Director General of LASEMA, Olufemi Oke Oshanyitolu, said the children went missing around 8 p.m. Saturday. He urged members of the public to exercise extreme caution with young children in the flood-prone and low-lying areas. The new approach which engineers at the Rigachikun Bridge have adopted in fixing the first portion of the bridge which caved in is yielding desired result. Our correspondent reports that one of the latest approaches was meant to reduce the water density on the transition base. Being an environment where water meanders 365 days, and the fact that the damage to the bridge came at a time when water levels were at their peak, the engineers are treating the base of the bridge with a cocktail of defense mechanism to safeguard it against the impact of water. After a series of layers of boulders and concrete to fill the transition base, a basket of an iron rod is now being laid where casting will follow to serve as a buffer against the negative effects of rainfall on the base of the bridge. With the pace at which the engineers are fixing the damaged portion of the closed bridge, reopening it may not be far away. The alternative bridge, which is in use now, also begs for attention, but it is the saving grace for now. We're going to take a short break. Panorama continues shortly. Don't go away.
I wish to once again commend the frontline workers across the country who, on a daily basis, risk everything to ensure we win this fight. For those who got infected in the line of duty, rest assured that government will do all it takes to support you and your families during this exceedingly difficult period. I will also take this opportunity to assure you all that your safety, well-being, and welfare remains paramount to our government. I am using this opportunity to express our deepest condolences to the families of all Nigerians that have lost their loved ones as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. This is our collective loss, and we share your grief.
Thanks for being there. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control has on Saturday, the 12th of September 2020, confirmed 160 new cases of COVID-19 in the country. Data from the center indicates that FCT and Plateau have the highest figures of 39 new cases, each followed by Lagos with 30 new cases. Kaduna records 23 new cases, Katsina has 7, while Rivers and Oyo have 6 new cases each. Yobe and Benue also recorded 3 new cases each. 1 new case was recorded in Bayelsa, Abia, Edo, and Ekiti states. As at 12th September 2020, Nigeria has 56,177 confirmed cases of COVID-19, while 44,088 patients were discharged and 1,078 deaths recorded so far. Politics now. The People's Democratic Party, PDP, in Ondo State has flagged off its governorship campaign ahead of October 10th governorship election. The party's governorship candidate, Eyitayo Jegede, while receiving the party's flag, says his mission is to ensure that poverty and hunger are no longer problems in Ondo State. Abiola Ario reports.
PDP rally brought together party stalwarts from across the country who came to affirm their support for the candidacy of Eyitayo Jegede in the Ondo State governorship elections. Presenting the party's flag to the candidates, National Chairman of the party, Uche Secondus, and the Governor of Oyo State, who doubles as the Chairman, Ondo PDP governorship campaign, Seyi Makinde, appealed to the people of the state to make the right choice by electing the PDP candidates, saying the state had lacked substantial progress in the last 4 years and requires a visionary leader like Eyitayo.
We want freedom for the entire Southwest. We expect you, the great people of Ondo State, to consolidate on that victory for PDP. For the youth, there will be industry, there will be development.
Other party leaders said that PDP should be given the opportunity to govern Ondo State again, urging the electorate to come out en masse and cast their votes for the PDP come October 10 in Akure. Abiola Ario, NTA News.
The election bid of Pastor Osage Izeyamu of APC has been endorsed by a group known as Friends for Simple Agenda. The group is made up of eligible voters who are in different trades and occupations. Ogochukwu Kaona reports.
Who knows everybody? Who knows what politics is all about? Who knows what running a government is all about? We will be safe.
Basically, because of his simple agenda, we are supporting him.
Pastor Izeyamu commended the people for their confidence in its manifesto.
Simple agenda, the solution to our problems. And these are the problems I looked at. And I came up with a simple agenda. Something that I believe will be simple enough for people to remember. So that when I'm in government, you also continue to remind me.
Meanwhile, Oedo local government has taken its turn in the APC ward-to-ward campaign. Members of the APC campaign train were in Amegbe Ward 2, Sakwamba Wards 9 to 12, New Benin Wards 6 to 8.
It is time for you as landlords to serve the red card to the tenant. And as you can see, even before you reminded him, what you're asking for is in his paper.
Pastor Izeyamu visited the Enoji of Urolo, Jackson Igbinogene, in his palace to seek his prayer and support. He also had audience with members of Iyekoba Youth Association. In Benin, Ogochukwu Kaona, NTA News.
Southern Kaduna now. There are concerted efforts to bring about lasting peace in that area, and that seems to be promising. Major Madamu brings us up to speed on the series of engagement to that effect.
These communal clashes in Kaduna have been going on since 1980, when the first crisis occurred in Kashomage.
40 years of recurring tale of violence, relative peace, and eruption of more deadly communal conflict in southern Kaduna. Like all previous crises over the years, the recent outbreak has unleashed restlessness among not only authorities, but good-spirited Nigerians that feel become to partake in the search for sustainable peace and backrolling southern Kaduna to its glorious past of peace and prosperity anchored on the strength of its diversities. While both the federal and Kaduna state governments have risen to their obligation by massive deployment of especially military and intelligence personnel to restore normalcy, concerned individuals and organizations have been trooping into explore workable avenues for alternative dispute resolution.
So we are here as an Islamic organization to support the peaceful coexistence of our people in Kaduna State. Without peace and harmony, you cannot even practice your religion.
My concern is the issue of narrative. Narratives in this state have baffled me, have surprised me. And I keep asking, is it the Kaduna State I know?
There is something wrong. We have problem in our sincerity.
In his wisdom, the Sultan of Sokoto and Chairman Executive Committee of the Northern Traditional Rulers Council convened this expanded and extraordinary meeting of the council to deliberate and come up with position paper in aid of the government in the onerous task of restoring peace in southern Kaduna.
It's time to put a stop to this madness.
And this first ever all-encompassing Southern Kaduna Peace Summit, convened by the Executive Secretary, National Christian Pilgrims Commission, Reverend Yakubu Pam, further scale up the stake towards effective intercommunal communication with a view to demarcating common grounds for brokering truce.
We are just here to create a platform, and this platform will be sustained.
These and many other related efforts observers say are good omen for brighter future for the diverse communities in southern Kaduna. Majama Adamu, NTA News.
Thank you, Majama. I have with me in the studio to look at the issue critically. Muhammad Ali is a security expert. Muhammad Ali, thanks for coming to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
You have listened to that report and the talking heads in that report. What's your general take about the issue? Is it that complicated?
Well, from the onset, let me say peaceful coexistence is one of the most important projects of our time. And this has to be between one community or the other, or between divergent religious groups within the southern Kaduna axis. But the issue of building peace is not an individual project. We have to do it together, not in isolation. So it's a collective responsibility for everybody to come on board and see how best we can broker peace between the divergent religious and communal entities that are engaged in these, recurring acts of violence. Apart from that, there is also the need for us to acknowledge the fact that this fanatical violence are religiously rooted and politically entrenched. So there's both the political and the religious angle, which needs to be looked at thoroughly and with a view to finding a lasting solution.
What's also your take about this effort that has been, going on, the composition, those involved?
I want to salute the courage and sincere and elderly steps taken by His Eminence, the Sultan of Sokoto, in bringing together emirs from across the northern states in order to sit and brainstorm on the way forward, charting a course out of the current madness going on in southern Kaduna. And also, we need to salute the efforts of Reverend Yakubu Pam, the Secretary of the National Pilgrims Commission, who has also put together the 3-day summit in Kafanchan with a view to finding lasting solution. Both parties have done excellently well, and government should give full support to that initiative so that together we'll be able to find SOCO and lasting peace in southern Kaduna. But one thing remains basic. We have to try as much as possible to build or to accept, to tolerate and accommodate people who do not behave and look like us. It is by doing that that we'll try to imbibe in us the spirit of live and let live.
So what's looking at the kind of people that are on the table now discussing, do you think we have a quorum?
We have a quorum, but I would want to see the involvement of Kaduna State and the Southern Kaduna People's Union, SUKAPU. They need to be part of it, because whatever is done, if they are out of it, we still have problems. So Kaduna State and SUKAPU should be part of this summit, so that together we'll be able to find a lasting, durable solution.
Based on your experience, what are the steps do you expect to see to be taken as we go towards attaining lasting peace in that area? I mean, the parties involved, the actors, what do you expect to see from them to start?
The leadership of both parties should try to be very accommodating, and we keep talking about peace, but permit me to say it is not everybody that needs peace, because whenever we're talking about peace, people must not be given qualifiers. People say, I need peace, except if none of my farmlands will be touched, or there should be peace only if I will be acknowledged, or I will not be discriminated against because I'm a traditional religious worshipper. So issues like that. People should talk about peace, but we must not be bringing in qualifiers.
Okay.
Yes. If we continue to bring in qualifiers when we are discussing peace, certainly it will continue to evade us.
So what's the watchword finally?
The watchword is, let's embrace one another so that together we'll be able to build a very real and peaceful Kaduna State.
Many thanks, Mohamed Ali, for coming.
It's my pleasure.
This afternoon. Moving on now, the National Hajj Commission of Nigeria, NACON, is set to introduce Hajj savings scheme to lower income earners among intending pilgrims across the country. Chairman of the Commission, Zikrullah Kulle Hussein, stated this during an inspection visit to the ongoing project situated at the Kano Hajj camp. Hadiza Muhammad Ali reports.
Hajj savings scheme, which is set to come on board at the end of September 2020, will have the support of financial institutions in the country. The idea is to assist the intending pilgrims save the Hajj fee gradually to be able to perform Hajj operations without hitch.
We will come into the city of Kano to have a launch of the Hajj savings scheme.
Apart from this initiative, the chairman assured intending pilgrims that their welfare will continue to be his top priority at home and in the Holy Land.
It's an accommodation which is ensued. This, we believe, it will become easy to have comfort for prospective pilgrims, as also a way to generate revenue to help us to continuously manage Hajj.
While in Kano, Zikrullah Hussein inspected the multi-million naira hospital, an accommodation project to be used by intended pilgrims during Hajj exercise to avoid inconveniences. In Kano, Hadiza Muhammad Ali, NTA News.
And to the sport world, what is new? Our correspondent will tell us.
While receiving at taekwondoist Elizabeth Ayanacho, who secured an Olympic ticket in the minus 67 kg bout of the 2020 African Taekwondo qualifier a few months ago, Minister of Youth and Sports Development Sunday Dari charged athletes, especially Olympic band athletes, to avoid rustiness despite ban on sporting activities and declare a pre-Olympic camp at different centers of the Federation in the next 2 weeks.
Just tune them up and get them started before we now have the 60-day camp next year.
Did you talk about making sure that Tokyo is different from London, that we're on the same page with regards to this objective?
An Olympian, Chioma Ajua, and partners have distributed palliatives to athletes under the auspices of the Nigerian police with a view to preparing them for post-COVID-19 activities. Chioma Ajua clamored for strict adherence to COVID-19 rules as federal government lifts ban on non-contact sports.
Governments really have to help them to make sure that they are being tested so that each and every one of them will be COVID-19 free.
So this palliative is just to encourage them and to let them know that, okay, they are thought about.
This is a good idea for a person who will see as a role model to us.
In another development, the Lagos State Sports Commission have set the pace for others to return to sporting activities with the successful hosting of the Invitational Open Tournament for non-contact sports, tagged Sport is Back. The tournament was behind closed door.
Let's practice what the new normal is. Let's get used to what we should be doing.
I'm happy that I get to do this.
From the foreign scene, it was a clinical start for Arsenal with a 3-0 win over Fulham during the opener of the 2020-2021 English Premier League. Other matches slated for Sunday indicate that West Bromwich Albion will trade tackles with Leicester City, while Tottenham Hotspur will lock arms with Everton. With Sports Update, Olumide Guntola, NTA News.
This afternoon, thanks for being part of it. Goodbye.